Hey y'all, it's Lissa aka Bangs and Glasses, and I'm back with another process video for 30 days of sketches. So today's sketch is going to be day 14 by Nikki Ihas. Hi Nikki, if you're watching. So today I'll be scrapbooking this photo of me getting a coffee. And this layout, I'm interpreting the arrows as being a bunch of different die cut out pattern papers. So since I'm drinking a coffee here, I'm going to be creating little coffee cup die cuts as my arrows. I did go ahead and do some mixed media off camera to go in my background because there is some mixed media on this page in the bottom corner, and I just decided to add a bunch of mixed media on here. I'm showing you that I've already backed my photo with some scraps of what I ended up with left over as I made these little coffee cups. So I used some 6x6 papers from the paper pad in order to make those. So I'm going to start laying those out on my page, going over top this mixed media that I've already done. So today I'm going to be using the Echo Park Coffee collection, which is a great collection to use for any photos of you drinking coffee like I'm doing here. So since my photo is going to be covering up kind of this middle coffee cup, I'm going to go ahead and take that off of my page. The mixed media I've done in the background, I did some sprays. I did kind of a white spray that you can't really see, and kind of a silver mica mist spray, and then I did little hearts stencils with some texture paste behind it. So here I've already glued down these coffee cups and placed my photo on my page. So now I get to start embellishing. So in the sketch, there's about 3 different embellishment clusters. So for my layout, since I have less die cuts and a bigger photo, I'm just going to do 3 clusters. So I'll do kind of a title cluster, one in the bottom right hand corner and one in the bottom left hand corner near my photo. I'm also going to bring in here some Simple Stories My Story collection because I thought the colors still went really well with the Echo Park Coffee collection, and I just have a lot of ephemera and embellishments from the My Story collection, and the colors work really well. So here I'm already trying to figure out my title. I'm starting by going through the die cuts here. And I am deciding here where my clusters are going to be placed. There's a lot of coffee icons in this collection as well, so that's helpful to tell this quick little story of me just grabbing a coffee. This is a photo from 2020, which is why I'm wearing a mask in this photo. So I just went out to one of our local coffee shops and happened to get an iced coffee to go, and I had not been to that coffee shop in a while, so that's why I decided to document that moment. I'm picking out a couple floral pieces from this ephemera pack because I know I want to definitely add some more florals to this page to help build out my clusters. I really like this bag of flowers here because that orange kind of matches some of the orange tones in my other pattern papers that are on this page, and I do switch out that floral camera for a green camera. I really like this cafe set here because I was at a cafe and they do have tables like that outside of this cafe. I didn't sit at them, but I thought that still helps to tell the story. And then with these little houses and buildings, there is one that says cafe, so I pulled that one out, and that light peachy orangey tone matches this other collection perfectly, so it's going to help me build out my top cluster. So I end up putting that on top of my photo, and that'll be one of the little anchors for my title eventually. So I am still just picking out a couple more little pieces here, some more florals. I decided I really like this butterfly and the green to help bring out some of the green in the pattern paper, and the camera I picked out is green, so that will match well and just bring out more of that tone. I do want to bring out a little orange, but kind of ignore what's going on in my mask since I'm still wearing a Halloween mask in this photo, even though this photo is definitely not around Halloween. I'm going into the foam thicker sheet here to try and find my title. There's a lot of great options here, so this is where I kind of hem and haw for a while, figuring out what I want to use. I think about using this piece that says memories, but then it has a light purple flower in it, which I feel like doesn't really go with the rest of the colors in my layout, so I decided to put it back. Although I do like how long that title is, because then it can bridge across those two coffee cup die cuts. So I think about adding this title that says good vibes, and I actually start to stick that down because it has the green and some of that orangey tone in there. And I'm still kind of debating, and then I decide to peel it up, and these stickers are actually pretty sticky, so it took me a minute to very gently remove this title to try a different one on there. So I did get that off with success, so I didn't peel up any other papers or anything. And then I decided to grab this word that says today instead. So I'm going to take that off the sheet and have that be part of my title. So I'm going to have that span across those two coffee cups to just make one big cluster here at the top of my photo. And I like how the flowers in this one go with the rest of the colors of this collection pretty well. So that's going to be the start of my title. And then I'm kind of tilting the little cafe building there a little bit more, just to fill in that space so it's not sticking out at a weird angle. I am here going and picking up those florals that I picked out earlier to start building out the rest of this cluster around the butterfly. I really like how that looks, just having some florals around this butterfly. To have the butterfly make sense. So I have this small blue one, I have this like larger orangish one. I like how it adds in a little more green to the layout. And I'm just deciding where I'd like to have that layered up with my butterfly. And I decided to have maybe one more little floral bit in here to make sure I have my rule of thirds and have 3 little flowers up here. So that's how the florals are going to end up in that area. Now I'm turning my attention to a different sticker sheet. So I'm going back to the Echo Park coffee collection, and I'm pulling out this word that says coffee, and that's going to help me finish out my title piece. So my title is going to say today's coffee. So I'm going to go in my stash and find an apostrophe S to add in after today, because I don't like when titles are not grammatically correct. So it's going to say today's coffee here in a moment. It's magically going to change. And you can barely see it against the die cut, but I know it's there. It's a lot easier to see in real life. So my title is going to be today's coffee. Just another day grabbing an iced coffee from a coffee shop, basically. So I've used up a lot of the coffee collection, so I don't have a ton left on the sticker sheet, and a lot of the bits I have left are really text heavy, and I don't necessarily want to add a ton of that to this layout. I do find this other sticker that says coffee. I think it says coffee all day, every day, or something like that, but it has that kind of pink color that I have in some of the other coffee cups, so that works well to finish out that cafe table cluster. And that cafe table cluster actually reminds me of something I learned. So I have learned recently, well, I guess not super recently, but recently enough that it can be kind of a bad sign in some cultures to have an empty table, like empty chairs and table. It can be kind of like a bad omen or just have negative energy. We used to have a logo with that at work, and that's why they decided to change it, because they learned in some cultures that's seen as like a negative thing. It's kind of like ominous having just like empty chairs and tables. So I think that's kind of interesting to note as I pull in this table and chairs die cut. I do find on that same foam sticker sheet another to-go coffee cup, which will help me finish out this cluster at the bottom with the flowers in the camera, and it brings in a little more of that light pink color. And I decided to finish off this layout with some brads, which I don't normally do. I find this one that has a butterfly on it to just bring in another butterfly. I don't often get the brads with collections, but for this collection. I happened to get like a collector's kit mega pack thing and have the brads with it, so might as well use it. But typically I don't pick up brads because I just usually don't use them, but I do like the Simple Stories ones because they're already adhesive. They don't actually have the brad on there, they're just a decorative element, and they also include some smaller chipboard pieces. So I'm just going to add a couple of these around my page as kind of my finishing touch with some kind of like enamel dots in a way is how I'm using these. So I've added 2 in each cluster. I think that helps finish it off. So I'm going to add just about 2 more down here with my camera and floral piece. I've got just 2 more down there. And that is basically everything that I have today. Here's a still shot to follow. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.